There are many who confuse skepticism with naysaying, with the automatic denial of any assertion. The truth is that a skeptic is one who, yes, doubts, but with the intention of discovering the truth. Skepticism is not blind denial, the automatic gainsaying of anyone else's position. That's contradiction. No, skepticism is the demand for proof, or at least persuasive evidence which precludes other reasonable possibilities, in order to better understand whatever is under scrutiny. To truly understand anything, one must first doubt until one investigates and discovers what is true. A skeptic is one who makes sure. By contrast, faith is the very opposite. Faith amounts to blind acceptance, to going with one's gut feeling. It amounts to self-deception. True, one's faith could be properly placed. It's possible to have hit upon the correct answer by intuition. But faith is not a way to know. Faith is a way to feel, to be convinced. But unlike skepticism, faith does not have the making sure part of the equation. And in that way, I have to say that skepticism is a great virtue, the only means by which we can truly know anything. By contrast, faith is a vice, an indulgence of our imagination and our credulity, which, frankly, we really can't afford. But don't take my word for it, put it to the test. If faith truly trumps skeptical inquiry, then explain to me how faith will cure disease better, faster, or heck, at all, when compared to skeptical science. Explain to me how faith will teach us about the world around us, as opposed to skeptical scientific investigation. Hell, if you really want to get snarky about it, explain to me how we could tell that faith trumps skeptical inquiry without a skeptical investigation to determine which wins over the other. You use skeptical inquiry all the time. I'm sure you know that, and you probably consider it as much of a virtue as I, except when it comes to religion, except when it comes to God. Think about that for a minute. What makes faith a virtue and not a vice? Why do the rules go out the window when it comes to religion, when it comes to your God? I mean, don't get me wrong, I have a fair amount of contempt for the reverse, for looking at faith as a virtue and skepticism as bad. But I also can't empathize. I try, but I can't picture looking at the world that way. I can't feel what that must be like, to hear someone as a person of great faith, and to see that as a good thing. What is that like? How does it feel to hear, I am a person of faith, and not think, okay, so you don't know, you just feel convinced for no good reason, which is, kind of stupid. What is that like? I honestly can't picture it. Really, I can't. That worldview is so far removed from anything I've ever felt in my life. And I've tried. I've tried hard. What is it like to hear someone say, I don't believe, I want to know, so I'm going to investigate rather than just go with how I feel, and to look at them as evil? I can't picture that either. I cannot empathize with viewing skeptical scrutiny as being a bad thing. And I've tried. How to hear finding out more as doing something really bad in your head is something I'm not equipped to do. Like when people use intellectual as a term of derision, and I've heard that from time to time, it just doesn't compute. I ask you, if you can, please explain this mindset to me, because in my world, faith is a vice and skepticism is a virtue. Period.